The fact is that the engine in Hammond's car is a push-rod, 2-valve iron museum feat. Oh, no!
Superfans of the car-based show The Grand Tour rejoice, as now it has its own game on the big consoles. I am Skywarp72 with Cruisers Gaming, and today we're going to be doing an in-depth review of The Grand Tour, the game. That doesn't really roll off the tongue well, does it? But before we do that, reach over and click that subscribe button and the bell icon to stay up to date on all sorts of stuff going on with the channel, like game reviews, garage stuff, and my actual racing videos. I thank you all for the support. The Grand Tour game is on such opposite ends of the spectrum of good and bad, you will laugh with it,
Standard, you get one seat in a Demon. You can opt to have the others put back in, and it costs you $1.
Which seat do they put in as standard?
and you will laugh at it.
To make this, they took a Hellcat, I drove one before on the show, and just made it more of everything. What?
Clearly released to add to the excitement for the third and final season of the show, Amazon, which is responsible for the game and the show, are leaving no stones unturned while looking for a younger audience to tap into for bigger numbers for this final season. This is evident in two big ways. The first being that the game was released on consoles instead of as a mobile game, which basically what it is, and two, the gameplay mostly requires the players to drift to make nearly every corner, and we all know how the kiddos love drifting. The premise for the game, I thought, is pretty unique. It takes the first episode from Season 1 and Season 2 and plays them almost in their entirety, with the player taking control when the driving scenes come on to win certain objectives, making the episode that you're watching interactive during the driving scenes. Now, be it I don't hardly watch any shows at all, and I'm not aware if there are any other interactive games out there based on shows, but for super fans of certain shows, this is actually a pretty cool idea. And while the idea is really cool, the gameplay is, well, let's just say it's lacking. Grand Tour is all about the cars and the camaraderie of Jeremy, James, and Richard. Well, at least they got half of it right. The Buddy Fest is there between the three hosts through the episode clips. Gameplay that's during the driving scenes is one-dimensional, dismal, and pretty flat, all disguised as fun with silly objectives and show host anecdotes. Realistically, gameplay like this is a waste of a console release. Hence my first impression while driving the Mustang in the opening scene is that it felt like a PlayStation 2 game. All the cars feel about the same, while handling like crap and being pretty difficult to control after just one small mistake. The look of it isn't much better, as some of the backgrounds are superbly well done, but the cars themselves just seem out of proportion, resembling a real car closely, but not quite nailing it down. Again, going back to the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 aesthetic, the driving is as unimaginable as it gets. No available switch from the automatic to a manual, and to get the car through most of the major turns, again, it requires the use of the drift button, and instead of inducing a slide with the throttle or momentum, you gotta use this button. It's really goofy. While drifting, the cars are happy. When just trying to negotiate simple corners, they seem to want to fight you, as it seems they all have the turning radius of a school bus. Making the gameplay bearable, however, are the challenges, be it making the objective under a certain time, or just seeing how many times you can scare Hammond going around the track.
Oh, for God's sake!
Pick up one of the power-up bubbles on the track, I don't know, is that what you call them? And get more horsepowers through a nitrous-style boost. Be able to send a text to the other two show hosts when you're not playing them to slow them down, or the ability to create a thick candy fog so they don't know where they're going. The whole time listening to audible snippets from the show every time you do something right or wrong. The moments of comedic gold and camaraderie between the three hosts, which a lot of us car guys have spent the last decade getting to know and love, and some of the gadgetry gimmicks make the gameplay kind of enjoyable, in a tongue-in-cheek kind of way. I wouldn't recommend this game for someone, though, if they weren't already acquainted with the show. Replayability is actually top-notch, however. While each challenge is shrouded in various sections of the episode you're playing, it does give you ease of access to them, should you want to skip forward with the fast-forward button being Clarkson's face.
On this side of the pond. Here we go! This is the American.
And should you want to go so slow you're going backwards, you use the May rewind button, as he's the slowest of the bunch. Due to the game's simple nature, skipping about is a breeze, with minuscule wait times and a super simple menu that shows you less is more. As always in YouTube videos, I am speaking to you from the past, and as of last night, Season 3, Episode 1 became available. It's unclear if this will be a weekly thing now that the new season has started on Amazon Prime Video, or if it will just be the one episode. If it's the entire 13-episode run of Season 3, you won't even need to renew your Amazon Prime Video. You'll be able to watch it via the game. Though I thought it was weird that Episode 1 of the new Season 3 cut out the review of the McLaren Senna and substituted it for an older review of the McLaren 720S instead. So maybe Forza Horizon has the monopoly on that car right now? Either way, the game, it only costs like $15-20. While it may not be up to par for Forza Horizon or Need for Speed, it's cheap thrills on a budget, and if you're a fan of the show, it will make you laugh.
Now, to make sure that the M2 wasn't on sort of the lapboard all by itself, we got the American to put...
So, there's the review on the Grand Tour, the game. Grand Tour, the game. Wow, they really gotta work on that. It's like one of my favorite movies of all time is The Transformers, the movie, the 1986 release. It's just... Wow, you need to find some way that rolls off the tongue better. Make sure to check out the description below for all sorts of links to extra goodies, like the Cruisers Gaming Facebook group, which you're free to join, the official Twitch channel where you can watch me playing the Grand Tour of the game sometimes, and the new vintage toy channel I've started, featuring all the best toys of the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. And if you're in a position to become an exclusive member of the Cruisers Patreon, I truly would love the support, my friends. And remember, those friends, they're the family you get to choose. I'll see you next week, fellow Cruisers.